Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to today's Saturday surprise workout. My name is Kata, and today we are going to do a quick, 30-minute workout. So we're going to kind of get in, get done, and get on with our day. We are going to use a step bench. If you do not have one like this, that's okay. If you have stairs, a couple of the exercises, you can just use actual stairs if you want to, or if you just have like a single step stool, that works okay too, just something that you can step on and off of. If you do not have either of those options, that is all right as well. You will have a modification. It's just going to be a variation of a squat. If you have a chair, you're going to be doing a supported single leg squat using a chair, or you can just do a single leg squat if you prefer. But we're going to use the step bench, we're going to use dumbbells, and we're just going to get in a nice, good, quick strength workout. We've got a little bit of cardio mixed in there as well. So it's just kind of a nice all-around workout. I hope you enjoy it. We have 3 circuits. We're going to do 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest, and we're going to do 2 rounds of everything. As for the height of your step bench, for most people, you do not want anything that is going to be higher than 90 degrees. I have mine set a little bit high because I have a trip coming up where I'm going to be carrying items, doing some hiking, and I'm going to be stepping up onto some larger rocks and other items. So I am actually preparing for something specific. You can absolutely use a little step bench if that is what you have, or go without. That is okay too. But we are going to go ahead and warm up and get started and get our workout on today. All right, so we're going to start just a nice good toe lift right here. So a little bit of a slower beat today, but that's all right. Heels up both at the same time. We're going to lift and we're going to lower. I'm going to start to add an open and a close of the chest, squeezing my shoulder blades together. We're starting to work on a little bit of upper body as well as our ankles. 2. All right, bring it in the center. We're just going to do arm circle up. We're going to bring it back around. Same side. Circle up and around. Bring it back around. If you need to, keep it nice and small. Your shoulders are different than mine, and that's okay. Good. Keep going right here. Trying to keep that upper body nice and steady. And a lot of times we want to turn because we're a little tight. We want to try to avoid that. Switch it over to the other side. So circle it up, bring it back around. And remember, you can always start nice and small. It's up to you. And I always like to go back on this one. Good, we've got 4 more. Lift and circle it around. These are shoulder cars. They're called controlled articular rotations. Last one. Hold on to something if you need to. We're just going to start with a nice good forward and back swing with our legs. I can definitely feel my hamstrings a little bit from the workout from yesterday. Let's switch it over to the other leg, same thing. So hold on if you need to. I'd rather have you focus on working on your hips than have you focus on trying to hold your balance, at least for right now. All right, switching sides. We're going to take it out and in. If you want, you can cross towards the midline of the body, or you can even take it up and a little bit over, really working those hips. Good. Switching over to the other side. So just out and in, cross to the midline of the body, or a little farther if you'd like. Here's 2. Bring it in the center, tap it to the side, start to swing the arms around to the front. So it's just a little tap. We're starting to lengthen the back side of the body. 4, 3, let's reach it up and overhead. Reach, little side sway. We're washing the windows. Although I don't know about anybody else. We've had enough rain lately that I don't think we really even need to wash the windows right now. All right, take the legs nice and wide. Squat it, cat-cow, inhale. Exhale. Good, in and out. Deep breath. Exhale out. This is just a very gentle arch and round of the low back. If you don't want to arch and round, you're just going to belly breathe. In and out. Couple more. Last one. All right, neutral spine. Take the legs wider. We're going to go side to side right here. Good, 4, 3, 2. Bring the feet in a little bit. Slow deadlift. Hinge it forwards. Stand up nice and tall. So push the hips back towards the wall. Run your hand right down the side of your legs like you're reaching for your socks. You're going to pull them up. All right, we're going to speed it up right here. So hinge and lift. Hinge and lift. As soon as the hips go back, when they stop moving, that's where we come back up to standing. 2 more. Slow squat. Stay nice and tall. Little tail feather tuck. Drop the hips down towards the floor. Chest stays lifted. It does not have to stay perfectly straight up and down, but we want to try not to sit the hips back and then bow, turning it into another deadlift. So take it down, lift it up. Good, hips. This is going to depend on your knees and your ankles as well, and a little bit of core strength. 1 more. Good, forward step and reach. So forward step, pull it back. Nice, good squeeze. Waking up the back, getting ready. We have rows today. All right, really slow lunges. So take it down, back knee to the floor. Push off, stand tall. Drop it down, push up. Drop, slow hold. Push it back, down, push. We have 4 more right here. 4, push it back. Now, if you need to do a step back into a lunge, that's okay too. Some people just find it easier on their knees. Last one. All right, if you've got a bench, we're just going to tap and tap right here. If you don't have a bench, you're going to do the same thing, or you can do a nice good march. So we're just trying to wake up those hip flexors. Getting ready. 4, 3, hamstring curls right here. Press. Little tricep extension, little hamstring curl. So a little bit of cardio here. Get that blood flowing. 4, 3, 2. All right, we're going to do a plank walkout. So I have a bench. I'm going to put my hands on my bench. I'm going to step it back into a plank, step it forwards, and I'm going to stand tall. If you do not have a bench, you can use a chair. If you do not have a bench or a chair, then you are going to just kind of walk yourself forward, little inchworm. Walk yourself forward into that plank, and then walk yourself back up to a standing position. So we do have push-ups. If you don't want to do push-ups, you have options. I'm going to do push-ups using the bench. I'm going to go for an incline today. Good, this is our last one. Bring it all the way up to standing, roll the shoulders, grab a quick drink of water. We're going to go ahead and get started. I will say, if you have a bench like mine, wear shoes. I left mine downstairs, which is not the smartest thing to do, right? Just because they're ridged, they don't feel very good. All right, we're going to do bench step-ups. You can alternate, or you can do round 1 right, round 2 left. If you do not have a bench, I want you to do, if you've got a chair, I want you to do a supported squat chair stand. So weight is in the leg closest to the chair, other foot, you can have it flat or heel down. And I want you to hold weights if you can. You're gonna sit all the way down into that chair, and then you're gonna stand up. If you don't have a chair, you're gonna do what I just did. You're gonna squat and you're gonna stand. We just wanna try to get some single leg push work. Second exercise, overhead press or push press if you wanna go a little heavier or get your heart rate up. Third exercise, step overs, hop overs. You can step, you can hop. If you don't have a bench, you have a dumbbell, you're gonna step or hop over your dumbbell. You choose. We just wanna work on those big steps. But we're gonna get started with our bench step-ups. Grab some weights in your bench, 45 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So again, I'm going to be carrying items and I'm going to have weight on my shoulders. So I'm actually gonna have mine just kind of resting on my shoulders because that is what I'm going to be doing here in about 2 weeks. So I'm going to be carrying. So actually what I have on my shoulders right now is only about 30 pounds, which is actually lighter than what I will be carrying. So this is something I'll need to kind of work on a little bit more, but good technique. And again, if you don't have your bench, I want you to do those single leg squats. And if you can, go all the way down into a chair. You can stand up with both feet if you need to, but try to sit down and stand up. Good, last one. Try to sit down and stand up with a little more emphasis on one leg than the other. All right, hands at the shoulders. Overhead press or a little push press. Feet hip width apart, brace your core, push press. So this is focusing on upper body here. This is not focusing on legs. Now you can just do a press. I'm doing a little heavier. I want to add a little power, so it's a little push. Little push. Now if you start getting a little tired, I totally understand. Alternate right, left. Push and press. Push and press. Good, we've got about 15 seconds. And we're gonna do our hop overs, our step overs, whatever you have. 2, and 1. All right, bench or dumbbell, hop over, step overs. If you're using just a little step bench, step or hop over that. You're good to go. 3, 2, and 1. So low impact right here. Nice, good step overs. I want this height. Height. That's kind of what we're going for. Think about all the things that you have to step up and over throughout your day, or step up and onto. So big step, up and over. If you want to add a little bit more cardio, add in that reach and pull. Add in your arms up. This is your low impact option. There's nothing wrong with that. Reach, pull. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going back to our step ups or our single leg squat. So supported. Where you put your dumbbells is up to you. Here's 2 and 1. So nice, good step up. Once you think about where you're putting your feet, we want to get the entire foot on the bench if you can, or as much of your foot as possible. And even if you're not going on a trip where you're going to be carrying something heavy, I have very sketchy stairs going into my basement. They're kind of like ship stairs. Very narrow, very steep. And I'm carrying pretty good sized laundry baskets up and down those stairs. So I need to be able to carry those laundry baskets up those stairs. Good, 3, 2, and 1. So it isn't always about the trips. Talked about this in class earlier this week. It's sometimes about just your daily activities. What do you do throughout your day that maybe you have a little bit of a hard time with, that you struggle with? And this is what we're gonna do. Good, push press. So option 1, less cardio, less power, overhead press. Option 2, use those legs, add a little power. So it's just, what do you do in your daily life every day that you need to be able to do with a little bit more ease? For me, I just noticed carrying a pretty heavy laundry basket up the stairs. But it's also, maybe you do a lot of gardening, so you need to be able to get up and down off the ground. That's a big one. It's not just, oh, I'm older, I can't get off the ground. Nope, any age. You go weed, see how you feel later. Good, rest. Yeah, just hang out on the ground for a while, or, you know, and then it's like, ooh, I'm a little stiff from being on the ground for a while. I gotta get back up. 3, 2, 1, good. So step it up and over, high, but also wide enough that you can get that top foot to come back in and at least tap. Good steps. Cardio does not have to be high impact. It does not have to be crazy intense. Reach and pull, reach and pull. So higher arms, bigger movements, higher heart rate. Lower is gonna stay lower. Maybe you don't have a bench, but maybe you have something that's a little bit taller. How many of us have pets? Yes? Periodically, my cat likes to just stop and flop right in front of me. Good, rest. My mom's cat likes to weave or not move at all, so you wind up tripping over her. So just that awareness. So nice, good rest. Grab a drink. Second round, we're gonna do lunges. If you have a step bench, you can try stepping back off of your bench into your lunge. It's gonna be a little bit of a deeper lunge, optional. Then we're gonna do 1 row, 1 curl, 2 rows, 2 curls. Keep track. Second round, meet that number or maybe beat it. Third exercise is we're gonna do bench taps. If you want, you can just do a power march or a power jog, or you can go faster on those taps. You choose. So decide if you want a dumbbell, 2 dumbbells, if you want to use your bench. 45 seconds, lunges in 3, 2, and 1. So I'm starting on my bench. I'm gonna step it back and down, and then I'm gonna push through. Back and down, push through. So nice and tall. It's been a while since I've done these. It's a little bit different, a little bit of a deeper stretch, a little bit more on the knees. So feel free to do a more traditional lunge. Step it back and drop. Good technique. Good, we got about 12 seconds. And I'm still kind of rehabbing my knee a little bit. Every now and again, I get that little twinge, that little twitch. 2 and 1. All right, 1 row, 1 curl. 2 rows, 2 curls. I'm going a little heavier. 2 and 1. So hinge. 1 row, stand, 1 curl. Hinge, hold a deadlift. 2 rows, stand, 2 curls. Good, hinge. 3, 2, 1, stand. 3, 2, 1. Good, 4 and 4. So hold that good deadlift, hold that stable spine. 2, 1, stand tall. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, rest. Nice, good rest. All right, so I made it through 4. My goal next round is to meet or maybe beat 4, at least a little bit. All right, taps or jogs. Taps or jogs. 2, 1, good, tap and tap. Again, you can add that nice good push right to the front, but we want to try not to kick or push that bench. I want you to think nice good taps. If you have a dumbbell, can you tap the end of your dumbbell? It's a target, it's something to aim for. We don't want to step on it. We just want to tap, 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 light and tap. So just makes things a little bit more challenging, gives you something to look at, to tap, a target. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, going for round number 2. Now, if you don't want to do lunges, you can always do some single leg stands. So we're going to go ahead and start with our lunges. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lunge it back and step. Lunge and step. So this one, it isn't a big step back. So we don't want to shift our weight into our back leg. We just want to drop that back knee down towards the floor. Keeping your front knee kind of over your shoelaces. Good. Step, push, push through the entire foot, nice and tall. 10 seconds. Good. 3, 2, and 1. All right, little rest. We're gonna go add on rows. Remember your numbers. So I gotta try to get to 4. Here's 2, 1, good. Hinge, 1 row, 1 curl. Good, 2 and 2. This doesn't mean that we fly through and we start to do not good technique. Just means we wanna try to push through. 3, 2, 1 for me, stand. 3, 2, 1. 4 and 4. We got about 15 seconds left. Good, less than 10. I want to get my 4, 2. I'm going to just make it. Last one. Good job, weights down. All right, going to go for our bench taps. Keep going. Here's 2 and 1. Push, push. So nice, good tap. Nice, good press forwards. Remember, if you've got that dumbbell or you've got something else that you can use as a target, tap and tap. You're golden. Now for some of you, you might be able to go for bigger taps. I'm trying to stay quiet this morning. Good, 12 seconds. Because I know sometimes people are on a second floor, there's people sleeping. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. Grab a quick drink of water. I'm gonna turn my bench. I'm gonna go a little bit sideways, and I'm also gonna have a little bit more room here because I'm going to do moving push-ups. Now, if you don't wanna do push-ups, you can do a chest press. So on your back, chest press. You can do a standing banded chest press, standing incline push-ups. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a traveling. I'm gonna have one arm high, one arm low. Second exercise, hands and knees, tricep kickback. Option, just a regular tricep kickback. And then we're gonna do runner's lunges. And again, you are more than welcome to do the runner's lunges at an incline, standing, or you can just do a wide march. But I encourage you to try incline. It's gonna be a good one. I was looking for my mats and I can't find them. I'm betting they're in the closet and I'm not gonna mess with that. So I'm just gonna put something else underneath my arms. But we're gonna go for traveling push-ups. One arm up, one arm down. Or if you're staying flat, one arm in, one arm out, push up, and then switch. So you're gonna do a narrow with a wide. It's just a little bit of a different move. But if you're doing push-ups, I'm happy. That's what we're going for. 45 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So a little bit of a different kind of push-up. So we're gonna take it down, lift, up and over, down, lift, up and over. So watch your technique, especially with the arm that's a little bit wide. We wanna make sure that we're not sticking our elbows out at a letter T. I want you to stick them out so you're forming That letter A, it's a little different. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, tricep kickbacks. Nice, good. Hands and knees position, or you can stay standing. 3, 2, and 1. So good hands and knees. Kick it back, bring it in. Kick and in. So nice, good position. Hold neutral spine. Now sometimes we start to push our hips back to our heels. I am a little because my bench is kind of short, but try to keep hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. So good kick back, nice good squeeze, straighten that elbow. Take it back, bring it in. Good, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, runner's lunges. You're gonna be on your bench. Find a comfortable position. We're gonna step it forward, and back. Step and back. Here we go. So step and step. Now try not to drop your hips really low. It's a good step. Now you can just do a tap, but I really want you to think about your position here. I want you to try to hold a good plank. Harder version for anybody that wants it. Hop switch, hop switch. This one is challenging, requires a little bit more jumping, but again, step, back, step, holding that plank. A lot of chest, shoulders, yes, wrists. Remember, use that chair if you've got it. Here's 2 and 1. A little bit of a rest, a little bit of a rest. I'm going to take 1 riser off. I'm going to go a little bit lower this round. All right, right here. So good push up, take it down, bring it up, switch it over. Now remember, you are more than welcome to do a chest press. Incline push-up, banded chest press. Use what you have. Just making things a little different today. Ten seconds. Deep breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We are going to go for those tricep kickbacks. So we're going to find that good position. I like being up here because now it's working my core a little bit more. Good, time is on because my feet are not touching the ground. So I lose just a little bit of support here. So I don't have my toes to help me. I have to use my core and my body to focus and to stay nice and stable. Keep an eye on your elbows. Sometimes our elbows start to drop. We want it in line with the torso, elbow pointing back behind you towards that wall. Good, 10 seconds. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Short rest. And again, we're gonna go back for those runner's lunges. Remember, if you've got a chair, use that chair. That's what it's there for. Here's 2 and 1. So you wanna just hold a nice good plank, step it forwards, a little bit of a hip stretch, step it back. Step it forwards, step it back. Again, we don't want our buns up. This isn't gonna really work our core here. But if we take it forward and we drop our hips, sometimes we overstretch our hips on this one or we arch our low back. I want you to hold that plank. Nice and steady. Chest is staying over the bench. We don't want to be back here. Good, 15 seconds. I'm gonna go for the higher version. Gotta use those abs to lift you up a little. Pull those hips in. We should be feeling our hips by now from the exercises we've done today. Last one. Carefully bring yourself up to a standing position. Walk it around. Grab a quick drink of water. I'm gonna take a minute, put my equipment away. And we're gonna go for a little bit of stretching. I am going to use my bench for stretching. You can use a countertop, you can use a wall. You ever have those days where you wake up just crazy thirsty? That's one of those days for me today. All right, using a chair, using a countertop, on the floor. We're just gonna do a little bit of a child's pose. I'm gonna use this as a little bit of a slide. I'm gonna push my hips back and then I'm going to slide my arms out and reach. Good forward position. I'm trying to keep my elbows on the bench, and I'm just trying to get a nice good drop, ears between the elbows, stretching out underneath the arms. This one might feel a little bit better for those of you that have trouble with this one on the floor, with your hands on the floor. Might feel a little bit better if your arms are on a chair. Just nice good reach. Good, bring yourself back up. We're going to come to a bit of a plank, and then we're going to just drop our hips. So this is our kind of an up dog variation. You are welcome to do this on the floor. So I find this, I'm going to be in a little bit more of a variation where my hips are off the ground, my knees are off the ground, but feel free to have your knees on the ground. Feel free to have your hands on the ground. Squeezing the glutes, opening up the spine. You can even be in Sphinx or just all the way down on your tummy too. Good, bring it down, sit it back. We're gonna take our hands out, again, child's pose. I want the elbow on one side on the bench or on the ground, then I want you to give yourself a pat on the back, and then I wanna see, can you drop down again? So a little bit more of a tricep stretch here. Again, you can do this against a wall, where you can just be close to a wall and you can have your elbow on the wall. Give yourself a little bit of a pat on the back and then drop the armpit towards the wall. Good, let's bring it in. We're gonna switch it over to the other side. So take it out, elbow is on the bench, palm facing up. Can you bend? And if you're really tight, you might be here when you start and then you wanna try to drop. This one is stretching our tricep from both ends. So it's stretching your tricep at your elbow and it's stretching it at your shoulder. Now if you want, if you're standing, just give yourself a nice good pat on the back. Don't worry about the wall. Just nice good stretch. All right, let's bring it up. We're gonna lift ourselves up and into a standing position. If you have a bench, you're gonna take your foot on that bench. You're gonna step that foot back and you're going to take the heel all the way down to the ground. We're gonna work on stretching that calf. Hold on to something if you need to. Don't have the bench, have your foot on the floor. Use a chair for support. Good, let's lift that back heel. And now we're going to tuck our tail and we're gonna do a gentle push forwards. Foot stays nice and secure. We don't wanna slide the foot forwards. Stretching the hip flexor. All right, little step forward, shift your weight to your back leg, front toe up or down, a little bit of a hinge, straight knee. We don't want to round at the spine, we want to push those hips back, feeling that nice good stretch. And again, hold on to something if you need to. This is a little bit more of a balance challenge, and it's okay if you choose not to do this, at least on the bench. Try to do the stretches. Good, bring it in, step it back, we're gonna switch. So we're gonna start with that nice good calf stretch. So back heel is down, knee is straight, all 10 toes are pointing forwards. Let's lift our back heel, little tail feather tuck, little drop, and then if you want to, you can start to add that little forward push. Having your back heel lifted makes it so you can really stretch your hip without having to worry about your calf restricting your movement. If you're trying to keep your heel down, you're stretching the calf and not really getting the hip. With your heel up a little, you can get the calf better. With the heel up, you can get your hip better, not the calf. All right, a little bit of a step in, front toe lifted, straight knee, just reach down. So we don't want to have pressure on the knee itself, maybe a little bit on your thigh, maybe a little bit on your shin, but we don't want to hyperextend that knee. Good, let's bring it up. If you've got a bench or a chair, we're going to do a little bit of a squat. Press your hands down into that bench, and now we're going to keep a neutral spine, and we're going to see, can we straighten our legs? Some of you may be flexible enough to do this all the way to the floor. I'm still a little bit tight with my hamstrings. If you don't want to have your head below your heart, you're going to stay up and have your hands on a chair. And you don't have to take your head below your heart because we're keeping a nice straight leg and a nice neutral hip and spine. You should get an amazing stretch without having to go to the floor, unless you are crazy flexible. Good. All right, we're going to bring ourselves up. I'm going to round. You do not have to. I'm going to roll myself up. Nice, good. Shoulder rolls up, back, and down. Let's bring it into the center. Big breath in. Spread the fingers, spread the toes, and exhale. Good. One more time. Big breath in and out, and you are all done. So I hope you enjoyed that workout. It did go a little bit longer than I wanted, but that's okay because we had the explanations at the beginning. Let me know if you enjoyed this workout. Let me know if you want to see more workouts like this. If you have the bench, if you have other equipment that you would like to see, I have a little bit of everything. I have medicine balls. I do even have a rope. So I have a rope, I have a TRX, medicine balls, dumbbells, bands, kettlebells, a BOSU, a step. I have a little bit of everything up here, so I can do just about anything. So if you have a request, please let me know. I know a lot of people travel. A TRX or a suspension trainer like that, or resistance bands are amazing for traveling because they're lightweight, they're portable, and you can take them anywhere. I am not affiliated. I just happen to like them because you can take them with you and you don't have to worry about carrying 120 pounds of dumbbells, right? Enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know what you want to see for workouts. If you want to join me for more lives, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. and Wednesdays and Fridays at 7 a.m. If you do the classes with me, no class 4th of July, and we are not going to have any classes, any of the Zoom classes, the 12th through the 20th. I am going to be gone, and I will say for the YouTube channel, there are not going to be a lot of live Saturday classes the month of July, pretty much none the month of July, because I am gone almost every weekend, whether I'm going to be traveling or I'm going to be out camping or something like that. And I'm doing a Mud Girl run in the cities on, what is that, the 26th, I think, that's Saturday. So first time I've ever done one. If you've ever done one, let me know how it went. This is just kind of a fun run. It's a Mud Girl 5K, I think. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the workout, and I hope to see you again in class. So bye.